everyone. Welcome back to the Gentle English Start. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey there. Great to have you listening. And speaking of being happy, that's actually our topic today.
Yes, we're going to talk about happiness, but not in a simple way. We want to explore what happiness really means.
Right. Because happiness is, well, it's more complicated than we think. It's deeper.
Exactly. So grab your coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let's have a really honest conversation about happiness.
This is going to be good. I'm excited.
So, Jake, let me start with a question. What makes you happy?
Oh, no. You know what? That's actually a hard question.
See, that's exactly what I mean. Why is that question so difficult?
I don't know. When someone asks me, my mind just freezes, like I should say something deep or impressive.
Right. I call this the happiness panic. We panic because we think our answer needs to be special.
Yes, but honestly, a hot cup of tea makes me happy. Good weather makes me happy. Hearing my favorite song at the right moment.
Those are perfect answers. Those are real answers.
But they feel too simple, you know? Like, should I say world peace or something?
No, that's the point. Happiness often starts with simple, affordable things, things we can actually have every day.
Affordable happiness. I like that phrase.
Me too. It means happiness doesn't have to cost money or be this huge thing.
Exactly. Like this morning, I had a really good breakfast, just eggs and toast. But it made me happy because I wasn't rushing. I actually tasted my food.
That's beautiful. You were present. You were there in that moment.
Yeah, and that's enough, right?
It should be, but I think many people don't believe that simple things count.
Why not?
Because we're taught to think happiness is this big, loud feeling, like fireworks.
Fireworks, yes. Like happiness should be excitement and celebration all the time.
But real happiness isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Real happiness is layered. It has different levels, different types.
Can you give an example?
Sure, sometimes happiness is peace, just peace, a quiet mind.
Oh, I get that. Like when everything feels steady.
Exactly, steadiness. That's a kind of happiness. Or relief. Relief is happiness too.
Relief.
Yes, like when something difficult is over, that feeling of, okay, I made it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good feeling. Not fireworks, but solid.
Right. Happiness doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers.
I really like that. Sometimes happiness whispers.
So we need to pay attention. We need to notice the quiet moments.
This is making me think about something. The I'll be happy when trap.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, we often say things like, I'll be happy when I get that job, or I'll be happy when I have more money.
Yes, or I'll be happy when I lose weight, or when I find a partner.
Exactly. We put happiness in the future.
We make it conditional. We say, I can't be happy now because...
And that's dangerous, right?
It is, because what happens when you get that thing, when you reach that goal?
You feel good for a little while,
And then?
and then normal life comes back.
Yes, because big achievements don't fix everything. They don't transform your whole life.
So what you're saying is happiness is smaller than we think.
In some ways, yes. It's more human, more daily.
I actually find that comforting.
Me too. It means we don't have to wait. We don't have to be perfect or successful to be happy.
We can be happy right now.
With what we have, where we are.
But Emin, let me ask you something. What about relationships? Don't they make us happy?
Oh, absolutely. But here's an interesting thing I learned.
What?
Success might impress people, but relationships hold them.
Wow. Say that again?
Success impresses people, but relationships hold them.
That's powerful. What does it mean exactly?
It means you can have money, status, achievements. People will be impressed.
Sure.
But deep joy, real happiness, that comes from feeling understood, from connection.
From people who really know you.
Yes, people you don't have to perform for.
Perform?
Like, pretend, be someone you're not. With real friends, real family, you can just be.
That's so true. My happiest moments are with people where I feel totally comfortable.
Exactly. No mask, no show.
Just you.
And they still like you.
Yes, that's the best feeling.
So those relationships are nourishing.
Nourishing. That's a good word. What does it mean again?
Nourishing means something feeds you, not food, but emotionally, mentally.
So a nourishing relationship makes you feel better, stronger?
Yes, it gives you energy instead of taking it away.
Oh, I love that. Some people drain your energy. Some people give you energy.
Exactly right. And the ones who give you energy, those are nourishing relationships.
And those make us happy.
They do. They really do.
Okay, but here's something I struggle with. Comparison.
Oh no, the thief of joy.
The thief of joy. Is that a saying?
Yes, comparison is the thief of joy. It's a famous quote.
It's so true, though. I can be perfectly happy, and then
You see someone else's life?
yes, on social media especially, and suddenly I feel less happy.
Because you're comparing your reality to their edited version.
Edited version. That's the key word, isn't it?
It is. Social media is edited. It's the best moments, the best angles.
Not the messy, real parts.
No, not the boring Tuesday afternoon or the bad day at work.
So when I compare my messy life to their perfect posts,
You lose. You always lose that comparison.
because it's not fair, it's not equal.
Exactly. You're comparing your whole life, good and bad, to their highlight reel.
Highlight reel, like a sports highlight video.
Yes, only the best moments.
So what's the solution? Stop using social media?
Maybe, sometimes, but also practice contentment.
Contentment. What's the difference between happiness and contentment?
Good question. Happiness can be a feeling that comes and goes. Contentment is deeper.
How so?
Contentment is a quiet sense of enoughness.
Enoughness.
Yes, feeling that what you have is enough. You are enough.
That's beautiful, but also hard to feel sometimes.
It is hard, especially in our world. We're always told we need more, better, different.
Buy this, look like that, achieve this goal.
Yes, so contentment is almost rebellious.
Rebellious. I like that.
It's saying, no, I'm actually okay. I'm good.
Even if I don't have everything?
Even if you're not perfect.
Even if my life looks different from others?
Yes, and that takes practice.
What kind of practice?
Well, gratitude is a big one.
Gratitude. Being thankful.
Yes, noticing and appreciating what you already have.
Instead of focusing on what's missing.
Exactly. It's a shift in focus.
Can you give a practical example?
Sure. Instead of thinking, I wish I had a bigger apartment, you think, I'm grateful I have a safe, warm place to live.
Oh, I see. Same situation, different perspective.
Right. And that perspective changes how you feel.
Does it really work, though? It sounds a bit simple.
I know it sounds simple, but yes, it works. Not like magic, but over time.
You have to practice it.
Yes, like a muscle. You train your brain to notice good things.
I should try that. I complain a lot.
We all do. It's human. But we can also choose to balance it with gratitude.
Balance. I like that word.
Me too. Life is about balance.
Speaking of balance, what about hard times? Can we be happy during difficult days?
That's such an important question.
Because life isn't always easy, right?
Right. Bad things happen, stress happens, loss happens.
So what do we do?
I think we look for meaning.
Meaning?
Yes, even on hard days, we can find small moments of meaning.
Like what?
Like being kind to someone, doing something that matters, even if it's small.
Oh, I see. So it's not about being happy all the time.
No, that's not realistic. It's about finding moments that feel meaningful.
And that makes the hard days feel different?
Yes, more bearable, more human.
I really like that approach.
There's also serenity.
Serenity. That sounds fancy.
It does, but it's a beautiful concept.
What does it mean?
Serenity is a deep, calm peace. It's quiet and steady.
Like inner peace?
Yes, even when things around you are chaotic, you have this calm inside.
That sounds amazing. How do you get serenity?
It's different for everyone. For some people, it's meditation. For others, it's time in nature.
Or music?
Yes, or music, or prayer, or art. Whatever helps you feel centered.
Centered. I like that word too.
It means balanced, grounded, not scattered.
I think I need more serenity in my life.
Most of us do. Our lives are so busy, so noisy.
Always rushing somewhere.
Yes, so finding moments of serenity is powerful.
Even just 5 minutes.
Even 1 minute, just breathing and being still.
This brings me to something you said earlier. Happiness is homemade.
Yes, I love that phrase.
What does it mean exactly?
It means happiness isn't something that just happens to you. You build it.
You build it.
Yes, there's small daily habits, little choices.
Like what?
Like what you notice, what you pay attention to.
Ah, like the gratitude practice.
Exactly. Also, how you speak to yourself.
Oh, self-talk.
Yes. Are you kind to yourself or critical?
I'm pretty critical, honestly.
Most people are, but if you change that, you change your happiness.
How?
Well, imagine you make a mistake. What do you say to yourself?
Usually something like, that was stupid, or I'm so bad at this.
Okay, now imagine saying, that's okay, I'm learning, or everyone makes mistakes.
Oh, wow, that feels completely different.
It does. And if you practice that, you become happier.
Because you being a friend to yourself.
Yes, instead of an enemy.
That's huge.
It really is. And it's free. It costs nothing.
Happiness is homemade. I get it now.
And what you allow to matter.
What does that mean?
It means you choose what's important, what deserves your energy.
Oh, like not sweating the small stuff.
Exactly. Some things just don't matter. Let them go.
That's hard, though.
It is, but it gets easier with practice.
Everything gets easier with practice, I'm noticing.
Yes, that's life. Practice, practice, practice.
Before we move on, I want to mention something uplifting.
Oh, tell me.
Uplifting means something that makes you feel lighter, right? More hopeful?
Yes, that's perfect. Something that lifts your spirits.
Well, I think this conversation is uplifting. It makes me feel hopeful about happiness.
Me too, because we're realizing happiness isn't this impossible thing.
It's not perfect. It's not always loud, but it's real.
And it's available to us.
Right now.
Today.
In small moments.
Yes, we just have to notice them.
You know that saying, stop and smell the roses?
Oh, yes, that's a perfect idiom for this topic.
What does it mean for our listeners?
It means slow down and enjoy the simple, good things in life.
Don't rush through everything.
Right. Actually pay attention. Actually smell the roses.
Or taste your coffee. Or feel the sunshine.
Yes, be present.
There's another fun idiom, on cloud nine.
Oh, I love that one. It means extremely happy.
Like you're floating on a cloud.
Yes, like nothing can bring you down.
When was the last time you were on cloud nine?
Maybe when I finished a big project last month, I felt amazing.
That's a great feeling.
What about you?
Probably when my friend visited from another city. We hadn't seen each other in a year.
Oh, that would definitely put you on cloud nine.
It did. I was so happy.
See? Those moments matter.
They do. And here's another useful phrase. Look forward to.
Yes, this is so common in English.
It means to feel happy or excited about a future event.
Right, like, I look forward to the weekend, or I look forward to seeing you.
It's a positive feeling about something coming.
And that's part of happiness too. Anticipation.
Oh, that's true. Sometimes looking forward to something makes us happy.
Yes, like planning a trip or waiting for a friend to visit.
The waiting can be part of the joy.
Absolutely. And one more phrase. Light up.
Light up like a light bulb.
Kind of. It's when someone's face or energy becomes brighter because of joy.
Oh, her face lit up when she saw the puppy.
Perfect example. You can see the happiness on their face.
It's visible, physical,
Yes, happiness shows in our bodies.
in our smiles, our eyes,
Our whole energy changes.
and other people can feel it.
They can. Happiness is contagious.
Oh, I like that. Contagious means it spreads, right?
Yes, like a cold, but good.
A good kind of contagious.
When you're happy, you make others happy.
That's beautiful.
It is. So your happiness matters, not just for you, but for everyone around you.
Wow, that's a big responsibility.
But also a gift.
Yes, a gift we can give.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of what we talked about today.
Great idea. So, first, we talked about simple joys. Happiness often comes from small, affordable things.
Like hot tea, good weather, or a favorite song. These things are real and valid.
Then we discussed the happiness panic, when people freeze up because they think they need to say something impressive.
But simple answers are perfect. We also talked about how happiness isn't always loud, like fireworks.
Right. Sometimes happiness is quiet, like peace, relief, or steadiness.
We explored the dangerous trap of I'll be happy when. This puts happiness in the future.
But happiness is more human and daily than we think. We don't have to wait.
We talked about relationships. Success impresses people, but relationships hold them.
Deep joy comes from feeling understood and not having to perform.
Then we discussed comparison, the thief of joy, especially on social media.
We're comparing our messy reality to others' edited highlight reels.
The solution is contentment, a quiet sense of enoughness.
And practicing gratitude, noticing and appreciating what we already have.
We also talked about finding meaning and serenity, even on hard days.
And remember, happiness is homemade. You build it through small daily habits.
What you notice, how you speak to yourself, what you allow to matter.
And don't forget to stop and smell the roses.
Perfect. I think we covered it all.
Well, friends, we've had such a good conversation today.
I hope this episode was helpful. I hope it made you think about happiness in a new way.
Remember, happiness doesn't have to be perfect or huge. It can be small and quiet.
It can be a warm cup of tea or a kind word from a friend.
It can be this moment right now.
So before you go, I want to ask you something. What small thing made you happy today?
Think about it. Maybe it was sunshine through your window. Maybe it was a good song.
Whatever it was, notice it. Appreciate it.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who might need to hear this message.
Leave us a comment telling us what makes you happy. We love hearing from you.
And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode.
We'll be back soon with another friendly conversation to help you practice your English.
Until then, take care of yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
And remember,
Happiness is homemade. Bye, everyone.
see you next time.